All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, want to give our honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, rule well. Peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect. Mr. Brother Yeshaya, Parliament in Valor, South Carolina. And this lesson right here, through the Spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruchah, Quadash, the Holy Spirit. It's going to be about hell, every so often, starting with the elder apostle Tahar on down, every so often, we are, we're forced. Well, I wouldn't say forced, because it's what we love to do, but it's provoked. Provoked, that's a better word. We're provoked to defend the gospel. And, some people that have this book and claim to be teachers, don't get it. All right, just point blank period. They just they don't have the 100% truth through the Spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. And they're teaching the masses and making the sheep to go astray. And hey, the Lord's word is not going to be convoluted. It's not going to be polluted. Hey, it says don't you can't add or take if you add or take away from the book, it's a stiff judgment for that. All right, but to get right into it, hell is not a real place. Hell is in the scriptures, when it speaks about hell, is talking about the grave or a lowly place. So we're in hell right now in Babylon the Great. But starting off with Matthew 12 and verse 39. But he answered and said unto them, an evil and adulterous generation seeketh after a sign, and there shall be no shalakia, and there shall no sign be given to it, but the sign of the prophet Jonas. For as Jonas was 3 days and 3 nights in the whale's belly, so shall the Son of Man be 3 days and 3 nights in the heart of the earth. Okay, the men of Nineveh shall rise in judgment with this generation and shall condemn it, because they repented at the preaching of Jonas, and behold, a greater than Jonas is here. But the point I wanted to make with this is because when you go into the account of Jonah, he was swallowed by a big fish, a great fish, a whale, a great fish. All right, it's like you. And he prayed to the Lord, and that was his hell. All right, so let's go to that real fast. So was he, in Hades burning? You know what I'm saying? No, man. All right, he was in, he was getting digested. So that was hell to him. Ain't no telling what the hell was going on up in the stomach. All right, stomach acids and shit like that, darkness. For 3 days, man, that was his hell. All right. Jonah 2:1. Then Jonah prayed unto the Lord Yahweh his power out of the fish's belly, and said, I cried by reason of mine affliction unto the Lord Yahweh, and he heard me. Out of the belly of hell cried I, and thou heardest my voice. So does that mean that he was in a in Hades burning, getting prodded and poked by a trident, a pitchfork or whatever, man? No, that was his condition. Now let's see this. And that word hell is Sheol. Hebrew word, Sheol, Sheol, underworld, grave, hell, pit. All right, and it says underworld, but it goes off sometimes. But this is what it is right here. Sheol, the Old Testament destination for the abode of the dead, place of no return, without praise of the Most High. Wicked sent there for punishment, righteous not abandoned to it. Yeah, of the place of exile, of extreme degradation and sin. So, hell has multiple meanings, but in certain instances, you have to use the context. All right. So with Jonah, his hell was what? That fish's belly. All right, and you know, I ain't even gonna say that, but yeah. So I think that was made. Yeah, I'm gonna move. I'm going back to Matthew. Matthew chapter 10, and we're gonna do verse 28. All right. Verse 27. What I tell you in darkness, that speak ye in light, and what you hear in the ear, that preach ye upon the housetops. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell. Okay, so if you ask your average Christian what this means, they'll totally botch it. They don't know. Okay, and that's why it's important. I mean, first and foremost, the Lord has to sup with you, man. Via His Holy Spirit, the Ruach Kodesh. I mean, there's no way around that. All right, so it's easy to see why the majority of the mass people don't get this Bible, this book, don't understand it, but we do. The small sanctuary, the hopeful elect. Okay, starting with the apostles of GMS on down. All right, and it makes you really appreciate it more. But not to go too far. Let's read it in the NLT. Don't be afraid of those who want to kill your body. They cannot touch your soul. Fear only God, who can destroy both soul and body in hell. And that's, look at, and Apostle Gabar broke this down a little while back. Look at, like, Stephen Hawkins or, like, somebody like that, okay? That's like a paraplegic. You can't do nothing. You're basically, and he can't even talk, and he can't, I think he's dead now. But anyway, yeah, that dude Stephen Hawking. Yeah, that's hell. That's hell. Like, you're trapped in the body. You can't run. You can't jump. You can't walk. You can't even articulate yourself, man. You can't use the bathroom for yourself. That's hell. Okay, and who is responsible for that? Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shah. So that's why he is to be feared. Okay, he could destroy both your soul and body in hell, and also this goes into that thermonuclear fire, right? Because when the lake of fire, okay, that's gonna be America, and there you go. That's another cut on what hell is, because if you ask a Christian, they would equate the lake of fire with a hell, but like the scriptures say, hell and death were swallowed up. Or I think I got it in my notes, but I'm gonna bring it back later. So yeah, so that's an example of a hell right there, man. Being a paraplegic, not being able to do normal functions and stuff like that. So that's a form of hell as well. Proverbs 30, and I think. Yeah, but verse 5. I'm gonna start at 16. The grave and the barren womb, the earth that is not filled with water, and the fire that saith not, it is enough. The eye that mocketh at his father and disobeyeth, and despiseth to obey his mother. The ravens of the valley shall pick it out, and the young eagle shall eat it. Yeah, the grave. I think that's what I wanted. The grave is not the grave. I think it's in Proverbs. That's not the one I wanted. Let's go to Proverbs 27. Yeah. Proverbs 27 and 20. Hell and destruction are never full, so the eyes of man are never satisfied. And in the NLT it reads, just as death and destruction are never satisfied, so human desire is never satisfied. So that's telling you right there what that word hell is. Okay, hell is the grave. Okay, and it says hell is never full. That doesn't mean that people are in there and it's unlimited um vacancy, so to say. No. This is talking about the grave. Okay, the ground. Okay, this earth is vast, and it's not enough people on this earth right now. Even if to bury everyone, it'll still be room on the earth. All right, well, in the earth, aka the grave. The grave is never full, and people dying constantly. All right, dying, coming back, dying, coming back. That's been the whole thing since we left the garden. Okay, so just a little bit more on that. You know, uh, let's see. I think I got a couple more. Let's go to Isaiah 14:9. Isaiah, Isaiah 14:9. All right. Isaiah 14:9. Hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of nations. All right. And in the NLT it reads, in the place of the dead, there is excitement over your arrival. The spirits of world leaders and mighty kings long dead stand up to see you. Whoa. Hey, this is wow. This is basically this hell right here is talking about death, all right, a very low estate, and this is going to be the judgment for for Amalek, and starting with Amalek because they're the chief house of Esau, Edom. That's going to be their end once the Lord makes his return. All right, now I'm gonna read some more on this. All they shall speak up and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vowels. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. Okay, basically symbolic of being in a lower state and death. All right, because there's going to be a lot of death, and a lot of bodies to be buried. Verse 12, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which this weaken the nations? And that's how it's talking about Eve, because Lucifer, all right, is talking about the illuminated ones, so to say, the high-level elites, all right? And, hey, they have their majesty right now. They have their kingdom. They're in their kingdom. It was a great one. It had a good little run, but it can't even hold a candle to the kingdom of heaven. But what they built and what the Lord gave them is decent. You know what I'm saying? But it's all gonna be going like that. That's symbolization of lightning striking the ground. How that cut to the ground, falling from heaven. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so that hell right there is talking about death and them leaving their estate as rulers of the world, so to say, to go into slavery and ultimately to be exterminated after 1,000 years. So ooh, boy, thank the Lord thank the Lord you ain't eat, man. This is the last one, Revelation 20:14. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. So if the lake, like I'm using Christians logic, if hell and the lake of fire are the same thing, how can one be cast into the other? You might ask. That's because they're two separate things, okay? This death and hell, okay, was talking about, the current condition that we're in and dying, all right? Because what? Yahushua defeated death, right? Firstborn of the dead, all right? And, once we get into that second covenant and once we get into those bodies, those spiritual bodies, hey, there's going to be no more death, all right? And the cataclysmic, if I used it right, or the turning point of that is Yahushua's return. That's when all of this is gonna come to fruition. Death and hell being cast into the lake of fire. Just for shits and giggles, let's see what this word hell is. This 80s. Hades or Pluto, the netherworld or realm of the dead. Later use of this word, the grave, death, and hell. So there you go. There's another word, Hades. You know, and yeah. And I mentioned Hades before. Anytime you think of Hades, you just think of you know, uh, what's that? What is that? Hercules movie. Yeah, but yeah, Hades is another word or later use of this word, the third iteration, the grave, death, and hell. So yeah, that's it. Lord willing, this was edifying, giving all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and peace, love, salutations, and blessings to the Lord's elect. And until next time, Shalom.